Good evening, Internet. I hope this finds you well. We are looking at the playing of none other than Nuno Bettencourt tonight. All right, so if you're familiar with these style guides, then you'll know that the deposit history and the tabs for all these licks are in the blog, as well as a few explanations. So what I'm going to try and do tonight is demonstrate those licks, slow them down a little bit, break them down a little bit, try and help you to understand them, even if I can't 100% play them up to speed all the time yet. So let's dive into lick one, and yeah, this had to be done, didn't it? This is that signature Nuno tapping pattern from Get the Funk Out. Okay, so this has come from essentially a Paul Gilbert string skips lick. Now, if you're familiar with playing Paul Gilbert, great. If you're not, go and check out the style guide I did on him back in 2022, link above. And what we're dealing with is a string skips arpeggio. Now I'm doing B flat because that's the first chord in the Get the Funk Out solo. So I'm starting my root note here on the 8th fret D, 3rd to 5th on the 7th and 10th frets on the G, and then 6 to 10 give me another root and major 3rd above it. And so that's the Paul Gilbert approach. What Nuno came along did was to add in a couple extra notes. So we're now tapping the F at the 15th fret, that's chord 5th, pull off to the root on the 8th fret, hammer down the 10th fret, which is the chord 2nd, up onto the G string, tap the 15th fret, which is the B flat, the root, pull off to the 7th fret, which is the D, the 3rd, and hammer down onto the 10th fret, which is the F, the 5th, 5th, root, 2nd, root, 3rd, 5th, up onto the 13th fret, high E, which is the F note, which is the chord 5th, tap, pull off to the 6th fret, which is the B flat root, and hammer the 10th fret, which is the 3rd. So 5th, root, 2nd, root, 3rd, 5th, 5th, 3rd, root. Somebody needs to change their E string, doesn't he? Come back down. Now for that insane crazy flash bit, all Nuno does is take that pattern, follow it around to a C, up to an E flat, and here he doubles the speed as well, and then an F. So when you hear that put together, I'll do it slowly first, yeah. And now we'll try for the Nuno warp speed, which we like. And now you can, of course, alter this. Just he's using a major pattern with an added 9 in there, but the 5ths, roots, and 9s, that's going to work for a major or a minor. If I wanted to go for a minor chord, then all I need to do is find where I've got my 3rds, in this case a D, and bring them back a step, semitone row. So that would give me an underlying pattern of root, flat, 3rd, 5th. And then add in my tap notes. Okay, moving on then. So our next one, now this, I'm going to dial back the gain a little bit for this one because it's not really as heavy. There we go, then we can go single coil. Now this is from Money, brackets In God We Trust, and this is, the underlying pattern is an E flat dominant 7 arpeggio. So I've got third, G, 5th B flat into D flat flat 7, up to root on the 11th fret high E. Oh, just double check that one there. Then back to the 5th on the 11th fret of the B. And then stretching over to the G note, major 3rd, 15th fret high E, back to the root on the 11th fret, down to the D flat, 14th fret, all up to B flat, 11th fret. Now he's playing this as straight semiquavers, or 16th, so we're going to go on E and up to E and up. Sorry, and we got a little bit on the end there. Coming off to that B flat, E flat, D flat, all off to B flat. So what we've covered then, we've covered 3 beats in semiquavers. 1, E and up, 2, E and up, 3, E and up. But of course, bars have 4 beats, at least they do in this song. So what we end up with is what's called a hemiola effect. So it's only on the 4th bar that things get around to back to normal. Each time the pattern is starting off on a different part of the beat. This is a really interesting effect. You'll have heard this because you'll have heard the solo to All Right Now. You're in that 3-note grouping. You've got a different note landing on the beat each time. And we've got the same kind of idea going on here. And it makes it sound like there's a lot more going on than there is. Not certain, you know, there's plenty enough going on as there is, but it's a really interesting approach. It's a way of getting more out of less. Okay, moving on to the 3rd lick. Now this is taken from Little Jack Horny, and this is largely in D minor pentatonic. But as you'll see, we've got a lot of grace notes added in there. So, and then we've got the B flat coming in, so we've got the flat 6. But then down to the A flat, flat 5 from the blues scale. So slowly, and we'll try for another Nuno warp speed. And again, there's nothing particularly flash in this in terms of techniques. It's just really fast, really accurate, and very, very crisp. He doesn't use an awful lot of really high gain tones, which I was quite surprised by listening to the album. I thought everything would be just gain cranked to maximum. But this one and Money and God We Trust, they're both more crunch than they are absolutely out saturated. Right, last of the bunch. And here we are in what is largely we can consider F sharp minor pentatonic. Now this is from Decadence Dance, which is in the key of A, more or less. So we can view him as playing the relative minor to get the A major pentatonic. But what's interesting is he's using a kind of a hybrid scale in that we've got the blues scale fingering featured heavily there. So if I was playing over an F sharp minor, that would be that C note there, that would be a flat 5 in the context of playing over an A. It is a minor 3rd, so I've got 2nd to minor 3rd to major 3rd in there, which is a really, really cool thing to be able to play with. Play this slowly first. I'll sort of cock it up. So we can see we've got a magic 3 notes, the thing to start things off. Now there, That's a little bit more of a blues move than you expect from a rock guitarist. That perfect fourth move between the B note on the 16th fret G to the F sharp on the 16th fret D. Now I'm kind of cheating on the fingering here. I'm bringing my middle finger round underneath, so I'm kind of avoiding doing an awkward finger roll. Now there, you see we've got the bend and pull off move that happens twice. First up, we're doing a whole tone bend. Second, we're doing a semi-tone bend. And then we're kind of sequencing our way down the scale in fours. And you got a neat little hammer on from minor into major third. So slowly. And then I'll try a little bit quicker. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed that. It's certainly been a blast working through Nuno's licks. He's an incredible player, and as always, we've really just scratched the surface of what can be done here, and somebody I hope to return to in the not too distant future. Okay, next month we're going to be looking at Gary Moore, so make sure that you've got your Gurn face going on and practice your pentatonics and vibrato, and I will see you then. All right, all the best.